Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Niasim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, this Latino man came out and said that it is time to give Latinos a dose of what they gave to Black people and other people because of the way they voted. And he said that he haven't seen something like this before. How people would choose to vote against their own interests, probably because they do not like a certain kind of people, right? And he said, if you see any if you see any Latino that is undocumented, you should call immigration custom. And he dropped the number to call, report them, let them be deported because you cannot vote against your own interest and think that you that is undocumented will be doing great. Now, majority of them actually have siblings or brothers that voted against their own family because, man, this is really like the craziest that I have heard or seen because I don't know how I am going to how to comprehend or assimilate this. It's just like me probably knowing that my sister is undocumented and going to vote and voting against her own interest and my own interest. Man, that is really the worst thing ever. And it is what it is. But man, I am just. What do you think?
Latinos for Trump, it is time to embrace the consequences of your actions. I've always been a firm believer of fighting fire with fire. If somebody goes low, I'll go lower. Now, with that being said, I know for a fact that most Latinos for Trump have undocumented family members, whether that be their parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, etc. So if you know of a Latino who voted for Trump, I urge you to call this number and report said family members. It's time that these Latinos for Trump get a taste of their own medicine and a taste of poetic justice. Now, I know what you may be thinking, Angel, this is extreme, and I agree. But extreme problems call for extreme solutions. And unfortunately, many innocent people are going to be affected by this, but you can't be that innocent if you raised a Latino for Trump. And before all of the Latinos for Trump come at me all angry, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You should be happy. Let me see that smile. But there you have it, guys. Once again, there is that number. You know what to do. It's time that these Latinos for Trump learn the hard way. But anyways,
Because I've been thinking a lot about this, and I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm actually rooting for Latinas and Latinos who voted for Trump. I really am. I really hope that they get everything that they voted for, and I hope that they never forget who they voted for. So when they're waving goodbye to their undocumented partner because they got deported back, I want them to remember who they voted for. When their abuelita needs life-saving care, but there is no Medicaid because it's been slashed to the bone, I want them to remember who they voted for. When they watch their nieces and nephews struggle because birthright citizenship is gone and all of a sudden their family isn't welcome, I want them to remember who they voted for. When they have a child with special needs but there's no funding, no resources, no Department of Education, I want them to remember who they voted for. When all of a sudden their family's neighborhood is targeted with more policing instead of community support, I want them to remember who they voted for. When there's no money for your family but a whole bunch for billionaires, I want them to remember who they voted for. When environmental protections vanish and the air is so disgustingly polluted that their kids develop asthma or something similar, I want them to remember who they voted for. When discrimination increases and they are harassed incessantly because they will never be white, I want them to remember who they voted for. Call me petty, but sometimes getting exactly what you voted for is the only way to understand it.
Here's a fact that's bringing me so much joy right now. So my father's Cuban, my mom's Mexican. Her mom came to this country not necessarily legally. She voted, though, for Donald Trump. A lot of my extended family on my mom's side voted for Donald Trump. So here's the deal. If I'm getting deported, guess what? You're coming with me. It's what you wanted. We're going to drain the swamp together. We're going to give you exactly what you voted for. When the ICE officials come for me, guess who's getting ratted out? Congratulations, and I can't wait for the family reunion in Tijuana. Mi gente, mwah, love your faces. See you in hell.
So I just asked a Latino at my job, why you vote for Trump? This is what he told me out of his mouth. This is what he told me. He say, he voted for Trump because he know Trump hate them. That's what he said. He know Trump hate them. So they vote for Trump to make the Republicans feel like they with them so they could stop attacking them. This is what he told me. They only voted for Trump because Trump and them hate them so much. They wanted to show them they on the side of Republicans so they could leave them alone. I say, so you went and voted for Trump because you was scared you might get deported? And he said, yeah. Which I couldn't even say nothing but I guess that's right, you know what I'm saying, you know, but it's not about the policies. I say he ain't gonna do nothing for you, but y'all just so scared from getting deported that you went in that booth and voted for Trump just to try to show the Republicans y'all on their side. That's really the dumbest shit I ever heard, but people have all kind of reasons. And I never heard that reason in my life, but now I'm starting to think about it. When you getting 54 to 60% of Latino men, it got to be a reason why they voted for him, because he had spewed nothing but hate towards them. So it kind of got my attention, like, yeah, they voted for Trump because they wanted to show the Republicans they on their side. So I looked him in the eye and I told him, I say, bro, you just like me, bro. You think they finna give you some shit? You think they care about you, bro? Like, really? If you vote for them or not, bro, they do not like y'all, bro. I say everything that they been saying about y'all, that shit come from the heart, bro. That ain't because they want to help y'all. But for a group of people, as you claim, only voted for Trump because y'all want to get them off y'all back so they can leave y'all alone. They ain't never gonna leave y'all alone, my brother. Never. So that's one of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. But I kind of understand where it coming from. But it ain't gonna work, because when you hate somebody, you just hate somebody. So I hope it work out for you Latino, man. I really do. So to the Latino men, since Kamala ain't good enough for y'all and we ain't good enough for y'all, what we gonna do, we gonna stay out of y'all taco stores. We are not gonna be coming to y'all taco trucks no more. We not gonna be coming to buy them burritos at the store no more. Since we not good enough for y'all, I hope MEGA come in the hood, Make America Great in the hood, come in the hood and support you like black people been supporting you for a long time. All them taco spots y'all got in our place, them joints finna be empty. I promise you, they finna be empty. This is a real boycott. Since we not good enough for y'all, why should we give y'all our money? I fucking make tacos at home. I can make tacos at home, but we was supporting y'all. But since y'all missed the 60%, have MEGA come in the hood and buy y'all shit. It's that simple. This is a real boycott. This is a real boycott. Since we not the same no more, since y'all missed the 60%, y'all way up there, we just gonna stay out y'all stores. And I hope everything go well. I hope MEGA come and buy y'all shit. Cause we done. For real, we done.
For the Hispanic, Latino, minority Trump voter who thinks they're all set, what do you think denaturalization means?
For those of you who don't know, don't worry. I'll interpret it for you. It's the removal of citizenship. Yeah, Congress can do that. So for a lot of you Latinos that think that because you're naturalized, you're safe, no, you can lose your citizenship. And deportation is immediate once that happens. And that's Stephen Miller, the white supremacist they've always had a plan. Again, the Republican Party is the party of white supremacy. They've always had a plan to use their vote, and once they get the vote of the Latinos that are foolish enough to vote for them, then they discard you. They don't want immigrants here. Even if you're naturalized or have citizenship, it's never been about being here legally. It's about stripping your rights away so that you're not part of the equation and you're not at that table. You fucked around and now you're gonna find out. Que tengamos un día.
So if you know of a Latino who voted for Trump, I urge you to call this number.
You are fucking amazing. I did not expect this pettiness. This is hilarious. But yeah, I agree with you. Anybody, Latinos for Trumps that you got, call that number ASAP. Fucking report them to immigration. Fuck that. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Fuck that.
It was pretty appalling to see the amount of Latino men who voted for Donald Trump in this election. You showed us something, right? You showed us that when you were voting, you don't care about your mother, your sisters, your nieces, your daughters. No woman in your wives, no woman in your family that you say you care about. You showed us exactly that. If and when his policies, Trump's policies, come to bite you in the ass, come January, February, anytime during this presidency, don't cry on the internet about it. You deal with it. You deal with it. Don't start a GoFundMe. Don't do any of that. You go ahead and deal with it. You deal with the repercussions of your actions. And briefly, to all of the white women who voted for Trump, who are in these interracial relationships with these Latino men, these men that you've maybe met abroad, brought to the United States, vouch for him, right? These men that you married to keep them in the country because you love them so much. You deal with the repercussions that if your family gets separated because of Trump's policies and your husband is separated from you and your children, you go ahead and deal with that. You deal with losing his income. You can deal with the legal repercussions that you're going to have to take to try to keep him here, which costs a lot of money. You deal with the trauma that is having a family separated. Okay? Don't come with a GoFundMe. Don't start crying on the internet. You wanted this. You wanted this. So you got it. Okay? This is what you wanted. And now you got it. Have a good day.
This video is to my fellow Mexicans. If you're not Mexican, stick around, you might learn something. This isn't to Latinos, because that is an over-homogenizing term. I'm not speaking to communities that I'm not that familiar with. Cubanos, Puerto Ricanos, Colombianos, y todo. This is to my fellow Mexicans. I know why you voted the way you did. Sure, machismo might have played into it, the economy, but this is about the anti-blackness that runs rampant in Mexican communities, despite the ever-presence of Afro-Latinos in Mexico. This anti-blackness is something we picked up from our oppressors, which is what I want to talk about today. We have a lot more in common with black people than you might fucking imagine. We too were victims of European colonization. Spaniards came over here and they oppressed us, they enslaved us, they raped us. They stripped us of our culture, our religion, our languages. Who does that sound like to you? What do you think the encomiendo system was? What do you think encomenderos were? Those were slave owners. It was a slave system. We were property. The only difference is that the Spanish crown got to decide how we were inherited, traded, relocated. That's it. We were still proper to be passed around and abused. We were property. Who does that sound like to you? The Bracero program, funneling in Mexicans into America so that they could work for slave wages in fields. And here we are, 60 years later, and they're still working in fields for slave wages. Who does that sound like to you? Segregation in the South, whites only, schools, bathrooms, restaurants, toilets, water fountains, that applied to us. We weren't welcome in those spaces. Why do you think Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, why do you think these people brought up the plight of black people when they discussed our liberation? Because intersectionality matters. Because somos mismo. Because we are not better than anybody. There's no one community that we get to hold ourselves higher than.
60% of Latinos voted for Trump in this election. And to think that my vote was going towards protecting my people. The fact that I was absolutely horrified at the thought of Trump becoming president because of the effects that it will have on our people. I voted for those Latinos that don't have a voice in this country. For the Latinos that are the backbone of this country and don't receive shit. I voted for the Latinos that have been nothing but good people in this country, paying taxes and have no criminal records. Only to find out that it's our own people turning against us. I am truly disgusted.
I want to say this because I haven't seen this point of view yet, but the Latinos that voted for Trump are not worried about their own immigration status or anybody in their family's immigration status. They're worried about closing the door behind them, making sure that Haitians, Venezuelans, anybody else that is trying to immigrate into the country are not able to do so. Because the right has created this fear of scarcity, you guys. And it is false. It is not true. For so long, we've only blamed white people for wanting to close the door behind. We saw this idea with the student loan forgiveness, right? I had to pay for my college, so everybody else should have to be in debt and pay for their college too. And then you see it again with affirmative action. Certain groups wanting to get rid of affirmative action, thinking that it gave an unfair advantage to black and brown people to have access to education, when in reality it was just giving everybody a fair shot at access to education. But they have to make it feel as though there's only a few spots. They can only accept so many people because they want all of the spots for only a certain group of people, okay? And now we see it again with the way that Latinos feel about immigration. And I just want you guys to ponder really quickly. Imagine if black people did this. Imagine if black people only fought for the rights of ourselves. We didn't fight for the rights of everybody in America. There's so many things in this country that black people have fought for the rights of everyone for, and it's so disheartening to see that people choose to uphold white supremacy in this country time and time again and watch black people, black women fight for the rights of everyone. Like, it is so disheartening. And this is why teaching about intersectionality is so important. This is why being empathetic is so important. Wadachi does not like Trump supporters, y'all. I'm sorry.
This is all I got from this video, and I am going to ask this. Why is it that some people will intentionally do something that they know will hurt other people, right? And then when people want to return the energy back, they start telling you that you don't have to be hard, you don't have to be this. Why? Because you are also acting like them. Can we just normalize holding grudges? Because it's okay. Sometimes you just have to hold a grudge, and sometimes you just have to also return the energy. You must not be in your good human being era. So you all the comment section is wild, and I am really going to try as much as I can to. So you all can see what people got to say about this. Some people were like, "Oh my God, I was not expecting this." I think it's the way forward. I mean, people, Hispanics too, saying the same. Some support him, some are like, for them to come out to do this somewhere I spent all my time coming out to vote for them, especially the ones that do not have papers, and thinking that that they would be nice to know that majority of them do not have papers, right? so that so they could get a better, I don't know, better life or something. And they ended up like, messing things up. You all can see it. It's not like I am making all this up. I mean, the chart election, this thing says it all. The reality is that some people all like really want to be this so bad. And they have also been used as pawns against their own interests and also minority groups, because I really do not see how voting. I don't know what would make me vote against my own interest, because, like, it's wild. I don't know if you understand. Like, it's completely crazy, but it is what happened. Like, the election fever, like post-election fever, it's really like, it's been real. A lot of people are not finding some certain things people did funny. Some of them went into hiding because they know what they did. Haven't been seeing a lot of them out, because, man, you already messed up. This was like a great opportunity for you people to utilize, but then you also made it known to us that some of you do not care, but it's all right. When people tell you who they are, you don't have to argue with it. That is who they are. And I really hope they learn their lesson, but some people will never learn because it is not in their culture to learn lesson. According to what they said, it is not in their culture to shout or scream or speak out. Some people have forgotten what just have happened few months back, if I am not mistaken, last year, right? When Florida did what they did. And like, some people are just so ignorant, or they choose not to learn. But then that it's your problem to sort out, not my problem, because I cannot make you learn or make you understand or make you have empathy or make you have empathy for people, or like, note that our humanity needs you, needs you to be kind to other people. And at the same time, you are also going through something. I didn't know how some people think, like the black man that said that some of them voted because they think, Trump doesn't like them, and for that reason, let them vote for him. Maybe he will like them. How do you think that somebody that doesn't like you, someone that has made it clear that I do not like you, will wake up and say I like you? Are you guys okay? Is that how your IQ is? See, the truth is that when somebody says something, I might not say that I do not like you and act it, right? But immediately, and probably from my actions, you will kind of understand that I do not probably want to be friend or like you. But once you say that out, it's something you do not try to maneuver and all that, because anything that comes out of somebody's mouth is something that you cannot take back. And they absolutely meant it. That is one of the reasons why we really have to be careful, because you cannot, some people didn't want to be picked, because if not, tell me why you would say that because somebody doesn't like you, that's why you decided to vote for the person. Does that make any sense? Of course, it doesn't make any sense. That shows how how low your self-esteem is. And I see some of them also ignoring their like the young man that said that his own mother voted when he doesn't also have paper. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is I don't know, but what am I supposed to do? To say, if you do not like your own, or if you do not like your own, or you do not like your own family, how are you even supposed to like me or love me? Because you don't have love and you can't give up what you do not have. So I see one of the reasons why majority of them did what they did. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.